All right, Lowheat fam, back with some more Lowheat. But today, a little something different. Just in my reason for buying these. So let's open these up and then I'll get into that. These I bought. I didn't get hit. I tried for these, but I did not hit retail. These are actually, as of the time I'm taping this, still dropping here and there. Everything, nowadays is kind of delayed in when skate shops and retailers get their shoes. So these, some skate shops are still dropping these slowly. They're still trickling out even to today, despite being released a while back. So there's a chance some straggling shop could put these out and I could get these for retail, but I wanted to strike while these were a little bit low in my opinion, because I think these are only going to go up, and I was right, because as soon as I purchased these, ever since I have, these have gone up slowly. So I'm glad I did. So today we are unboxing the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro in wheat and fusion red. Light LT light fusion red. Got these off StockX. As you can see, always verified, authentic. Got these off StockX, and I got these reverse Papa Bears, or the Pelle hat dunk, for I think 230. These retailed for, what would these retail for, like 110, I think. Oh, it's been ripped off. I think 110 these probably retailed for. That's kind of the going price nowadays. Maybe 100, because these are general release, maybe 100. But 100, 110, and I got these for, I think, let's see here, I think like 230, around 230 plus tax, shipping, everything came out to like 250. Maybe I got them cheaper. Everything I think came out to 250. Now, just the StockX lowest price at this size is 250. So if I wanted to cop these now, these with taxes and shipping would cost me like 275. So right off the rip, these are dope. I wanted these real bad just for the color blocking and the colors. This colorway, I love contrasting colors like this. You got the navy blue with bright red laces and the different materials, contrasting materials too, with this tan and this like reddish burnt. I wouldn't say this is burnt red, but this is this faded red and the bright red laces. So just in general, loved these. But what got me to pull the trigger on these, why I went ahead, paid resale price on these. You got different laces on these, but I like the red laces. Is because these were worn in the Olympics. As you may or may not know, this 2021 Tokyo Olympics, first year that skateboarding has been an official event. They had a street contest, and then they had a park contest that just wrapped up the other day, men's and women's. And to my knowledge, correct me in the comments, please. Let me know in the comments, do your research. I believe these were the only dunks, Nike SB dunks, worn at and rode at the Olympics. Aurélien Giraud, pardon my French, Aurélien Giraud wore these in the street finals, and then I assume the heats leading up to it. But he wore these in the street finals. He placed, I think, fifth, sixth, and no one else wore any dunks. People wearing various Adidas skate shoes, Bruins. Nigel was wearing his signature Nigel Houston free shoe. Lots of different skate shoes were worn, a little more technical, a little more athletic, slimmer shoes for performing tricks. These are a little bulkier. Sometimes I think for the pros, obviously want to feel the board completely, and dunks are just a chunkier shoe. But Aurélien Giraud from France wore these, and I think that's just a cool piece of history. Again, correct me in the comments I could be wrong, but out of both the men's and women's, I did not notice any other dunks. Granted, I didn't watch everything every single second, but I didn't notice. I tried to Google it, couldn't find any info. So I just think that these are really cool from that standpoint, a historical aspect. When you look back and be like, what Nike SB dunks were actually worn at the first skating event in the Olympics? What were the first dunks ever worn at the Olympics? They're going to be these. So I think these are a cool thing to have. If anyone cares about that type of history or trivia, these are only going to go up in price. Obviously, they can retro these. These are a general release, easy to do, easy to retro. They're not a collab. But, these aren't going to come back around for a while. So, and then also these are also nicknamed the reverse Papa Bears because, the classic Papa Bear dunk high with the fur is a grail and a highly sought after dunk, OG dunk. And these have the reverse color blocking to those. So it's a cool nod to an old dunk. Great color blocking on these. When I bought them at like $2 whatever it wasn't a bad price. $219, $220 was not a terrible, obviously double, but wasn't so bad. It for buying what I think is a cool piece of history, to be able to say that these were the only Nike SB dunks. I'm gonna stop saying that in case someone corrects me in the comments and they're like, "You're wrong, bro. So and so wore these ones." But either way, even if these weren't the only ones, these were one of then the dunks worn at the first skateboarding events at the Olympics. So I think that's dope. And then even if you take that away, like I said, dope shoe. So I think what I'm gonna do here, I'll put these on, try these on. I'm wearing my not dunks, but I'm wearing SBs, Supreme Nike SB Gatos. So I'm wearing a form of skate shoe. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on wearing these, and I'm just going to sit on these for a bit, just see if they climb. Again, I don't think people think it's that important. I think if someone who won the event wearing these, then these shoes would blow up. They'd be talked about on every single blog. I kind of find it curious. No one really called these out as being skated at the Olympics. Like if I were Complex or some of these other sneaker blogs and Instagrams, I would have been like all over posting about that. Like so and so wore SB dunks. I mean, these are so dunks are so hot right now. It's all everyone wants or talks about. I really can't believe no one's talked more about how these were worn there at the Olympics. Yeah, maybe I just missed it, but I thought it would have been a bigger deal in the sneaker world. Dunks worn there, especially when not a lot of people wore them. It'd be one thing if everyone was wearing dunks, but literally like these were the only ones worn. So I don't get it. All right, maybe not white Nike tube socks aren't the play. These aren't the fit, but like I think that tells you something about a shoe when they even look good with white tube socks. I think that's telling. Okay. Before I end the video, the story behind these. Okay, I told you why I wanted to buy these, but apparently the story behind the design of these, if you didn't know, that's why I didn't start with this, because people do their research nowadays. That you might already know this, but former Nike SB product manager, senior product manager, Steve Pelletier, depending on your pronunciation, used to wear a Michael Jordan hat from like the 90s that Steve had since he was like in 7th grade or something. And it had the same color blocking, tan brim, navy blue top, and red lettering, Jordan lettering. And so this was inspired from the Nike SB or Nothing, the Instagram account. They kind of broke this story, so check them out. Shout out to them. And I'm just regurgitating it. But apparently that was the inspiration behind these dunks, was a former Nike senior product manager, Nike SB senior product manager, Steve Pelletier, his hat that he always wore, or his favorite Jordan hat that he's had forever. It's a dope hat. Go to Steve's Instagram. You can check him out, and he posts the hat, him wearing the hat. And go check out Nike SB or Nothing if you don't know about the account. But obviously it's all about Nike SB. It's a dope account, and they're the ones who broke that story. So that's kind of the inspo behind these, aside from being called the reverse Papa Bears. And so what do you guys think about these? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about my investment? and even if it's not investment and like where I resell, it's a shoe that I got what I think will be way cheaper than what it will be eventually. So if I wanted to buy these for myself, I got them at a discount, in my opinion, if they do go up. So let me know in the comments. Please subscribe. I think these are fire. First pair of Nike SB Dunks I've bought for resale too. So I think anything under like 250 nowadays, despite the market going down a bit, is a kind of, I wouldn't say a steal, but definitely like something to look at copying. SBs have kind of come down a little bit across the board, especially general releases. They're kind of affordable depending on what your definition of affordable is. Still twice retail, over twice retail. So, but you know, pair of Yeezys, pair of Jordans, they cost $200. So if you really like these, you know, I think pull the trigger. There's some of the ACG dunks are not bad price right now. There's a lot of different dunk highs, maybe not SBs, but you know, there's a lot of those that are decent price. Some of the collabs even lately, SB collabs dunk lows are like not over 500 for once. They're like in the $300, $400 range, both lows and highs. You got the color skates, you got the FTC ones, you got the Stingwater ones, you have yeah, there's just a bunch of even the Paras are kind of not crazy. Definitely still expensive, but they're not over $500. So take a look if you've been eyeing some SB lows. Now might be the time to pull the trigger before these get hyped again. But I'm glad I made this purchase. What do you guys think of these? What do you think of my thought process behind them? And do you think it's a cool piece of Olympic history to own? I think it is. Only one of, we'll say one of until we're for sure, one of the only SB dunks skated in the first skate event in the Olympics. All right. Be back with some more Lowheat very soon.